Hey guys, I'm live. I'm in the storage unit. So it's been a little while since I showed you guys the storage unit, or shot a video in the storage unit. So here it is in all its glory, part of it anyway. I have a camera set up on top of a big box on top of, I'm gonna keep looking down because I'm sorting here. So bear with me. On top of table. So I'm basically, as the title says, going through one of the new Gaylords of CDs back there. I'm not going to finish today, but I will. Well, yeah, I think I'm going to try to finish tomorrow because I have my kids tomorrow. So, or I'm going to be watching them. So I'm probably going to, I'm probably going to bring them over here and sort. This is the Gaylord I'm sorting. There it is. I can already see, I've already dug a hole into it and can pull, or can see the bottom. I like to kind of dig down first. And as I do that, the rest of them kind of fall into the hole and fill it up. If I had a Gaylord dumper or some way to sort of dump it onto a table, that would of course be ideal. But I don't currently have that, so I work with what I got. Basically, I'm just putting them over in a pile. Good evening, hello. Oh, sorry, Fabian. Yeah, I still have your what is it called? Your Instagram. It's hi Leanne. I'm gonna do it. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's staring at me on my desk. So I'm finding a lot of what do you call them? This pile here. I'm finding a lot of audiobooks. Cool. Finding a lot of audiobooks as usual, and some random stuff. I already pulled out. Yeah, here's the Gaylord. Whoa, that's the Gaylord. I've already made a big old dent in it. I did Accelerlist in private mode for my last shipment of, it was like 29 items, books and CDs, and it went to only, it was split amongst only two, what are they called? Warehouses. So that was good. I pulled out like close to 200 CDs and scanned through them already for FBA, and I found like 30 CDs for FBA out of those, so that was a good ratio. And one of them was really good, I guess a rare one. It was like, I can't remember the type of music, but it was a big old thing. It's in my car, and it's got like 4 CDs in it. And there was only one on the listing, and it was going for $100, so I looked it up and at Keepa, and it looks like it did sell for just under that recently, but it sells for a little bit less. Whoops. Yeah, 167, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna get together probably at least 100 or so before I do another shipment. I just want to I want to sort. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a book. Okay. I want to sort through the CDs. What do you call it? I want to sort them out first. So I pull out all the audiobooks and all the other stuff that are not CDs, and I put all the CDs in piles over here, and then I'll scan through them so I can have all the CDs ready for FBA. So that when it comes, what am I saying? Yeah, so basically have the next shipment ready. Hopefully, I'm gonna finish. I will not finish sorting today because I have to get out of here by 7. Otherwise, I can't get out of the storage unit. You guys have heard that before in the weeks past when I made other videos. It's 6:30, so I still have 30 minutes. But definitely not gonna finish sorting today. But tomorrow, I'm gonna come over with my kids and go through it just as fast as I can. Probably finish in like hour and a half, 2 hours at most, and then I'll have them all piled up over here, and then I'll have some that were all, the CDs are always loose. There's always loose CDs. There's always cases without CDs, and I put those in a box on the side, deal with those after, and then I'll get to scanning. Like this one doesn't have the artwork, but yeah, I look forward to shipping stuff out to much less. Much fewer, what do you call them, warehouses. But let's see, someone asked a question. Where can you recommend looking for Gaylords of CDs? On average, what do they go for? So I found all my sources either through Craigslist, OfferUp, or Let Go. Those local apps, and if that doesn't work, I mean, you kind of have to always look at them every, I don't know how often, I mean, weekly at least, maybe every couple times a week. Search for Gaylord, search for CDs, books. Sometimes people will post on there. If that doesn't work, you can always try, hold on. I mean, you can try thrift stores. Whoa. You can try thrift stores because that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. Is I believe all the stuff I get is from thrift stores. It's just that it's from someone else who's bought it directly from them in an auction or in a bulk buying a lot of it. So you can try thrift stores. Sometimes they'll have auctions where they auction off Gaylords. Or you can just buy them, you know, directly. I mean, there's also paper recyclers. Sometimes recyclers will sell Gaylords of books. Maybe, I don't know about mixed media, but they'll sell books for sure. In terms of the cost, Gaylords of books are pretty inexpensive. I'm only paying $65. I got this is books. I mean, I'm piling all this stuff on top here, all the audiobooks, but this is a Gaylord of books that I bought. So that was 65 bucks. And as I mentioned in the video yesterday, my source is gonna, when they come to drop off the next load, they're gonna take whatever I have of duds of the books. I'm gonna put it, that's why I'm doing this CDs, one of the CD Gaylords first, because once I finish that, then I'm gonna go through the books and all the duds I'm gonna toss into the empty Gaylord. And so when they come for my next shipment, which will be sooner than later this time, they'll drop, you know, they'll take the duds, the book duds, which won't be that many this time, but I'll probably order more books next time. So I wouldn't pay much more than that, maybe $75. But if somebody wants 100 or more for a Gaylord of books, that's too pricey. You can probably talk them down, hopefully, to to something in that range, you know. I would say, I've heard people get them as low as $40, but I would say anywhere between like 50, 75 bucks, 80 bucks maybe at most. But try not to pay $100 or more for a Gaylord of books, especially if you're really looking mostly for FBA. Whoa. How did I look? You don't want to pay. Okay, 75 for books, cool. So for media, for just mixed media, I was paying $200, but for them to, for them to sort the CDs, or make Gaylords of just CDs, it's $225. But they'll probably be like more like $250 to $300, is because there was another source that I found who wanted 300 bucks for mixed media, which is pretty high. It depends though on what you find and how much you can actually sell. I mean, if you can sell DVDs on Amazon, then you're probably going to do better with mixed media, even if you're paying $300. There's 11 of you here. Sorry, I'm not talking that much because I'm trying to grab stuff. I'm finding a lot of this stuff in here, discards. I don't know if this is... No, they're CDs. I'll say this about what's your average profit per Gaylord of books? Good question. I can't tell you because I haven't really tracked it. Oh geez, I haven't tracked it. I mean, I haven't gotten Gaylord of books in a while, but I'll say this: they're profitable for FBA. They should be profitable for FBA only. Yeah, my kid, sorry, someone just, yeah, thank you Vidic for tuning in. Yeah, the kids are fine. They're just, they're at grandma's. So, I'll see them in a little bit at home. But yeah, they're fine. Thanks for tuning in, Vidic. So I would say, if you're doing if you're doing book Gaylords and you're doing just FBA or mostly FBA, you're probably gonna you can probably, I mean, depending on your source, so you have to test out your source first and see how many FBA books you find. In my experience, I've found anywhere from like 30 on the low end to like 80 or so on the high end, just for FBA out of one Gaylord. Now that might change. We'll see with this one, but typically it's not going to be a very high percentage. you know, when there's like 800 plus books in there, 900 books, whatever, in one Gaylord, you know, 10% of, let's say, 900 books is 90, so 5%. Yeah, so you're looking more like 5, 6, 7%. That's just for FBA. Now, if you find some good textbooks, school books, high-priced books, then it's definitely going to be more valuable, that Gaylord. But I would say you should either do merchant fulfilled or eBay lots, or sell them somewhere else, whether you're doing a swap meet, a flea market, or antique mall, or you have a bookstore, or you know, whatever you're going to do. Because if you're just going to do FBA and you're just going to get rid of the rest of them, however, and not make money off of them, you're going to recycle them or whatever, you're not going to make nearly as much money. But let's say you pulled 50 books out. It depends on what your average sale price is or what the average sale price would be. But if it was, I mean, if it was $10, you'd make, that'd be $500, but you pay about, you know, 70 bucks or so for the Gaylord, so you still make profit, but you're left with hundreds and hundreds of books. So you got to find a way. The profitable way to make, you know, over $1,000 off of a Gaylord is to make money off of those extra books. So you got to figure out a way to do that other than just sending them to a recycler, you know, somebody like that who's just gonna recycle them, or sometimes they'll destroy them or whatever it may be. Yeah. I know that's kind of an annoying answer. It depends. But it really does. I mean, if you're only doing FBA, your profit's not going to be as high off of a Gaylord of books. I would say it's not even really worth it because it's a lot of physical work. CD Gaylords are a lot easier to sort because the CDs are small and don't weigh much. And I can carry a bunch of them in my arms, whereas with books, they're much heavier, larger, take up more space. So if you're going to do bulk books, don't be afraid of physical work. Don't be afraid of, you know, jumping into the box when it gets down to the bottom, because if you don't have a Gaylord dumper, that's what you're going to have to do. Vidic asked about getting approved with CDs, and no, I don't have any tips. Unfortunately, it was just I was grandfathered in when they closed off the music section in, I think it was November 1st, 2016. So it's been almost 2 years, and I was grandfathered in, so they allowed me to continue to sell CDs and music. And then in 2017, they started gating popular music, and nobody could really figure out what that meant. And I was not gated on those titles, and it seemed to be kind of random as to who was gated and who wasn't. So it's hard to say. I mean, it's Amazon doing what they do, which is basically whatever they want in whatever way they want to do it. And we have to kind of deal with it. Sometimes you find stuff like this. Someone just donated their all their loose CDs. Oh, this is like, I don't know, some sort of religious audio program. I don't know. There's a lot of these that are like homemade. Not a lot, but enough. You know, a lot of people say they want to get into bulk, but I don't think a lot of them realize the kind of work it is, how different it is than going to a thrift store or book sale or garage sale or a estate sale, etc. Yeah. Yeah, it's 6:44. Thank you. And especially if you're going to do it by yourself to start, it's going to be a lot of work. But if you have the time, you have the energy and the space, then you should go for it. Because essentially, I get like, you know, stuff that thrift stores can't handle, and it's just delivered to me. But it's up to me to go through it and deal with everything they send me. So while it looks like, wow, so many CDs, you know, and there are so many, and you know, there are definitely a good amount that can send to FBA. It's not really about that. It's about dealing with all the other ones that you can't send to FBA, whether it's books or CDs, whatever it is. Which is why I'm going to be trying out the swap meet, flea market type of deal, and see if I can move a lot of this stuff quicker, so it doesn't take up so much space. Definitely, I see as I go through this Gaylord. Last time I went through a CD Gaylord was it was in July, because I went through all the ones that I had, and you know, as I go through it again, I think of how can I do it faster, and ideally it would be somebody helping me sort while I scan, and then it'll take them about, well, it takes me about Lord, it takes me about what do you call it, 2.5 to 3 hours to sort one Gaylord all by myself, as in completely empty Gaylord, and all the CDs are turned up with the barcodes up, and all the rest of them were thrown out that were no good, or that were missing CDs, or put to the side, and then I have to deal with those. But if I have someone doing it, then they can spend a couple hours doing it while I'm scanning, so that in those 2 to 3 hours, in 3 hours, I could scanning, let's see, I could almost probably scan the whole, yeah, I could probably scan the whole thing. The thing is, the scanning part is fast. It's that when I find one for FBA, I have to check the CDs in there, number one, check the CD surface is good. If it has cracks, I'd replace that part of the case. And then 15 minutes to go, 14, and then I'll put a price. What I do is I put a post-it on it and I put the price, so that when I go to list it, I can just put the price in real quick and be done with it. So that doing that, finding like almost 200 CDs out of one Gaylord for FBA means that takes a little more time. So it usually takes a little bit longer to scan, but even within 3 hours, if I had somebody helping me, I could probably get really close to finish scanning. What did someone say? One Gaylord CD. So this is books. Those ones I already had. Those are of DVDs. This is the one I'm doing, and this other one is CDs too. Yep, CDs. Lots and lots of CDs. And basically my source can give me as many as I want, as many as I can handle. A lot of... Yeah, for sure. I mean, even if I have them come in once or twice a week for a 3 to 4 hour time frame, like, you know, 9 to 1 or, you know, 1 to 5 or something like that twice a week, some, you know, young kid or high school kid or college kid or whatever, then it's probably worth it. I mean, I pay them, you know, pay them what minimum wage is. Yeah, that's a good idea. The days that I work here without the kids are Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and yeah, it could be worth it. It's definitely. I mean, that's the thing that someone else said this to me, that if hiring a kid or hiring somebody to help you sort while I'm able to scan is not going to make you more money than then there's not enough money in the CDs, that I'm doing something wrong basically. Then it's not making sense financially to do bulk. And that's true. I mean, if I have a 4 hour period and I pay them $45, let's say, and I find, you know, I scan through 150 to 200, or I find 150 to 200 CDs for FBA, then I'm still making profit, and I haven't even gotten to the rest of the CDs, either for eBay or trying to sell them, you know, other places. And it's really about speed, because the more I can send in, like you said, right, I can order more and get through more stuff. So I think I should put that on my plate as the next thing to do, is to look for somebody who can help me out. Because the money for me is not in eBay. The money is the money's in doing FBA with the books and the CDs. It's 6:51, so in about 5 minutes I'm gonna have to end the video, just so you guys know. Wish you lived close. Oh. Where do you guys live? Click art, anybody? And then I find lots of broken CDs. Well, I won't say lots, but I find enough. Oh, Arkansas, okay. Yeah, that's a little ways. I've never been there, but yeah, I could find somebody. Because you saw, I made a video oh, Colorado, okay. Well, that's closer. I've been to Colorado, but you saw I made a video last week about should I hire an eBay lister, and I decided against that I was gonna focus my efforts on where more of the money is for me, which is Amazon, and with the CDs and books, and the rest of the stuff, very little of it, the more high profit stuff that can't go on Amazon, I'm going to put on eBay, and then the rest of it I'm going to try to figure out another way to sell it, whether it's going to be go the swap meet flea market route, you know, just figuring out ways to monetize all these other CDs. What is this? Oh, that I can't make money on Amazon. So this is my only... Right, someone to sort does not get access to your accounts, right? Yeah, and in terms of Amazon, the two biggest bottlenecks or places that I get slowed down are getting through Gaylords faster, sorting, scanning, and then shipping. So sorting, scanning, shipping, the 3 S's. Those are the 3 that slow me down. So yeah, if I can find somebody that can help me sort while I scan and do those at the same time, it means that two of the big jobs can be taken care of at once. And yeah, that would enable me to get through a lot more for sure. And you never know, you hire somebody, you don't know what it's going to lead to. Hopefully better things. Who asked me? Dylan, is this what you do full time or on the side? So this is what I do. I don't do it full time because, you know, I have young kids and my wife works. So, and it's summer now, but my daughter's going to start school. But I have a 3-year-old, so he's not in school yet. Yeah, 5 minutes, I know. A couple more minutes and I got to go. So yeah, so I do it, I guess you could say it's like a little more than part-time because of the amount of hours I put into it. But I don't, you know, I don't work at like 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night or whatever every day. It's mostly Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then the other 2 days I try to do stuff here and there. Yeah. Let me grab a few more items. I can definitely see the bottom of the Gaylord. You can see it. Whoop, let me do it this way. You can see the bottom there. So it still looks like a lot, but it's not that much. I mean, if I was just doing the sorting, I could get through it. I could probably get through the rest of that in like an hour, a little over an hour. Yeah. He said, I heard FBA is doing storage fees every month now compared to every 6 months. Is that going to affect, whoops, you mean long-term storage fees? Yeah, I mean, well, it's made me get better at what I send in. So I'm more careful about sending in, what do you call it? I'm just checking, hold on. Let me answer your question 1 second. I'm just making sure I got everything because I gotta go. Yeah, it's made me better at sourcing. So basically what I send in, I'm more focused on selling it faster than having it sit around, unless it's a legitimate long tail that I don't mind taking, you know, months to sell. And if it's going to take 6 months to a year, it's going to have to go for really good money. But I'm basically trying to sell everything within 6 months and not get hit with a long-term storage fee, unless it's a really valuable item that legitimately sells for a lot of money, and should sell. Otherwise, I'm just going to get rid of it, destroy it or whatever. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I started eBay. Is to diversify. Here's another reason I gotta leave a couple minutes earlier. It's because this lock is always a pain. Always a pain to deal with. I unfortunately don't have one of those. I used to have one of those. You stick to the windshield and put your phone. What time is it? 6:58. I got 2 minutes to spare. I made it. Let me take this off. That's easier. Yeah, guys, so I'm trying to do this in here, but it's not making sense. Hold on. There we go. So I'm gonna head home. I wish I could have stayed a little longer to sort some more, but that's the rules of that place. So I'm gonna head home, and tomorrow I'm probably gonna finish sorting. Here's that item that I found. Songs of the West. It almost looks like a vinyl, but it's got 4 CDs. I don't know. It's the rank's a little higher, but it does sell throughout the year. There's only one option, or only one offer on there, and it's a merchant fulfilled, and it's going for $100 by a pretty big seller. Not like, I don't think it's a mega seller, but pretty big seller. And then looking at the sales rank, or rather the sales history, I can see that it has sold recently for at least like $80 or so. And then before it sold for like $40 to $60 earlier, or like 6 months ago or something like that. But I'm gonna price it at $79.99. To see if I can sell it. But anyway, guys, keep looking, and I'll see you. I'll make another video tomorrow, guys. Take care.